Go.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am David Byers. I am a wood turner. I like to take unusual pieces of wood and make different kinds of creations, turning it on my lathe. So today what we're going to do is we're going to start up a project where we're going to create 12 different vases. And with vases, many times what I'm doing is I'm taking pieces that I have cut off when I'm creating a bowl and I'm shaping it to fit to the bucket. These pieces that I cut off that have nice character in it, like these maple pieces, they have good spalting in there, and I just don't want to throw it away because I know that it still has a purpose. Or this box elder. This box elder's got really good color to it, so I'm going to cut down some of these pieces of wood to fit for the mold that I'm going to use to make my vases. And then other things that I like to use, creating an organic appearance, I like to use pine cones. And I like to use sweet gum pods. Yes, sweet gum pods are these things that if you've ever had one of these trees, they're spiky. If you're barefoot and you step on them, you certainly hate it. But even wearing shoes and you step on them, they will trip you because they'll roll under your feet. So people hate these things, but I love them because I can take something that people hate and I can turn it into something pretty. So I've got a lot of different colors that I've got selected for these 12 vases. I've got my greens and blues and whites. I've got gold. I've got two different colors of copper. I've got purple. I've got silver. So yeah, I'm excited about this week. So first thing that I want to do is I want to show you what I use to make my mold for the vase. And what I have done is I've purchased these different condiment bottles for ketchup or mustard. You can get these on Amazon for, I'm thinking I paid around 80 cents to maybe $1 each for these. And that's a negligible expense when it comes down to finishing out the vase and what I'm going to sell them at. And I'll show you how I just cut them down with a razor blade. Go ahead and cut them so that I can pour it up and then get started with the project. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one. There's going to be a lot of color and some repetition, so I'm going to cut out some footage, but can't wait until we get everything put together and we can turn it on the lathe, and then we can add the shiny to it so you can see what this is going to turn out with. And the one thing that I did not finish out mentioning is with the vases, I don't just do epoxy with this filler. I do always like to add a solid wood base so that that just kind of creates a little bit more pop. The most common wood that I use for that, I don't have any examples out, is walnut. I think the walnut just creates a nice rich color. I have used Bradford pear and maple and some other things before too, but the walnut is my favorite. So that's probably what I'm going to do with all of these this time. So come on in. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit closer as I show you how I separate the tops off of these using a razor blade so I can get everything poured. We're going to pour the epoxy and then we're going to put it in the vacuum chamber to pull out as many bubbles as we possibly can before putting it into the pressure pot. So let's do it. Okay, so we've determined that we're going to pour 12 vases, and with the 12 vases, it takes somewhere between 12 to 16 ounces per vase. So if we're looking at 16 times 12, that's 192. And with this measuring container, 192 ounces is 6 quarts. So I've already put 4 quarts or a gallon of the A component, and now I'm adding 2 quarts of the B component to total out 192 ounces. We'll go ahead and mix everything together, and then I will divide it out for each one for the individual vases, adding the color that we've selected. So I'm going to go ahead and stir things up now, and then when I pour into all the different vases, I'll show you what that looks like when we get to that point. Okay, let's mix our first 4 colors. First, we have the Carolina blue that you can see here, which I really think this is going to look really nice. I can't wait to see how that looks with the sweet gum pods. And then we've got white, and I'm mixing 2 different colors to create this white. I'm using neon white and crystal ice white. The crystal ice white really just pops. I mean, it's got all that sparkle in it, whereas the neon white makes it look more white. Then the next one that we're using is actually from Pearl-Ex. This is a duo color, and it's got green and yellow. And I think that one's going to be really pretty with that pine cone. And then with maple, we're using Caro Gold. So I think that one's going to look really good also. So now, let me pour each of these into the mold. And I'm probably just going to go backwards. So we're going to pour the gold one first, and we'll see how much we have left over as we get through. Yes, if I pour it the other way, you can actually see on the camera what I'm doing. So 16 ounces was a lot. And as you can see, we have extra with that. And that's why I only did 4 to start out, so I can see what I need to do with the next batch to make sure that I don't over pour. Here's the green yellow. We'll pour it, we'll let it settle in, and then I'll use the vacuum chamber, and as I do vacuum it, it will drop down a little bit more. And then especially the ones that I'm using the wood with, because the wood is more porous, with more surface area for uptake of the epoxy resin into the surface of the wood, it will drop not only when I'm pouring it or when I'm vacuuming it, but when I put it into the pressure pot, it will also drop down on level a little bit. So let's do the white with this box elder. I've done the box elder with blue, and it's come out to look purple before also. I haven't done a vase with the box elder with white, so I'm excited to see what this one's going to look like. I think it's probably going to be one that I want to do several different times. And then this Carolina blue is just a fantastic color. This is one of my favorites. The Carolina blue and the apple green that's coming up on the next pour are 2 colors that I just absolutely love. They blend in well with a lot of the different kinds of wood that I'm using. So as you can see, I've got different amounts left in each of the different containers depending on what I'm pouring it with. The wood's going to suck more in, but it took up more volume, and there wasn't as much displacement with the first pour that I did. So I'm going to take these four, I'm going to put them into the vacuum chamber and let them drop down and then top them off. And then probably what I will do when I bring you back for the next part of the video, I will have everything poured and I will have run it through the vacuum chamber, and then I'll show you as I've numbered them 1 through 12 what each of them look like before I put them into the pressure pot. This is going to be a fun one. Okay. Okay, magic happened. And they've already gone through the vacuum chamber and the pressure pot, and they've sat for several days, and I've taken them back out, and I wanted to show you the results. Look at the set epoxy in each of these. Number one had pine cones in it, and you can see how the epoxy stayed up close to the top. Come over to number 10. That one had the sweet gum pods in it, and it stayed up close to the top. But look at number 11. Look at, coming back this way to number 4. The ones that had pieces of wood that were in it has a lot more surface area in the wood to absorb the epoxy into its surface. So those did shrink down. When I took them out of the vacuum chamber and put them into the pressure pot, I topped each of them off. So they were up very close to the top when they were put under pressure. But then as they set, it sucks in. I am not going to do a double pour. What I'm going to do is where the epoxy settled down and the level dropped, I'm going to turn it to that level and just make a longer, larger base for the vase. And I'm going to make the vases out of walnut for all of these. So once again, this is going to be an interesting project. We never know what the final result's actually going to be. Next step we're going to do, let's take these out of the containers. We do this with a razor blade and usually a pair of pliers. No pliers needed for that one. Lot of suck down on that. Lot of suck down. This one was a pine cone, and as you can see, it doesn't have as much. So much better shape, much different height on that one. Let's get all these separated and then we'll look at them. Look at all the pretty colors that we've got. So like I was saying, you can see all the different mixes, and the ones that are higher are the ones that are either the sweet gum pods or the pine cones. The ones that suck down more are the ones that we just had solid wood with. This is going to be a fun project. Let's get some bases made for these so that we can attach it to the lathe and then attach the base to it and turn them and make some nice little some nice little bud vases. I think these are going to look pretty good. A lot of color to pop when I go to these different shows. Okay, so let's close out this video. It has been an interesting, fun challenge making all these vases. If you missed it, go back to that 26-minute mark in the video, because my favorite part making bowls is going from the sanding part to using the sanding paste, which most of the time I use Yorkshire grit, and just watching it wake up. So I did that for each of these. I didn't show turning all of them except for the blue one here on the end, but I did want to show you what it looks like to wake each one of them up. So um, if you have a minute, give me a comment and let's number these as I was doing through the video, 1 through 12. Tell me which one is your favorite. Tell me which one is your least favorite. I'm interested to know. I've done that with a couple of people already in my family, and they've given me some feedback. The white one was the most popular. The black one was the least popular. And I'm not trying to make the black one stand out right now on the end. I say black, it's actually a silver epoxy, but it looks black. But I had to come back and put another layer of tung oil on that one. So I stood it up. It's still wet, so I can't touch it right now. And I didn't want it to touch my cover on the table either. But anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. It has been my pleasure to make it. As you will see, as I've hollowed out the inside, I do place a small little tube on the inside that holds water. The vase itself definitely holds water also, but if you put water in the vase and then you add your flour with a little bud vase, it just makes it easier to clean. So looking ahead for that, and these create a lot of possibilities for me to add color at the festivals that I go to. There's a lot of different colors that you can choose and a lot of different designs that you can do with a base. So once again, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you for the next one. Thank you very much.